When God placed the first human being in the Garden of Eden, the Torah tells us it was l'avdah u'lashamra, to work and to safeguard the garden, which of course is a macrocosm of the whole of creation. To work the garden, to make it productive, to develop technology, to farm, to find and to use natural resources, but also to safeguard, the same word we use for Shabbat, Shmirat Shabbat, to make sure it stays safe, stays holy, stays protected, to make sure that it can be used by further generations. We leave it in a state as good or better as we found it. That's why we need Jewish leadership on climate change, because while the human race has been very busy working the world, exploiting the world, making it productive in all sorts of beneficial ways, we have fallen short in our safeguarding of the world. And now we know about the impacts of climate change, we have to turn our attention much more intensely towards that activity and to set a lead and make sure that as a human race we follow God's instruction not only to work but also to safeguard his holy creation.
Hi, my name's Eitan Lenko and I'm the president of the Jewish Climate Network. Climate change already affects all of us, no matter what our religion, our politics, or even where we live. In fact, we've already seen major climate disasters in both Australia and Israel. And that's why it's so important to see Jewish leadership on climate issues. The Jewish community knows how to organise and knows how to get things done. And I'd love to see that expertise and that passion put towards solving one of the biggest issues of our time. Thank you.
I grew up on the understanding that a core principle of being Jewish was to fight for justice. And when I look at the current climate crisis that we're facing, the need for real justice for all people, for our people and for the planet feels all the more pressing, which is why I strongly believe that we as Jews should feel compelled to not just act on climate change, but use the vast resources available to us to lead on climate change, just like we have in many other social issues that I grew up feeling very proud of. I grew up on the understanding.
Climate change is a problem created globally, but the impacts are often felt really locally. So local communities, including our Jewish community, need leaders to be looking at the impacts of climate change and thinking about how it's going to affect our community, how we can mitigate those impacts, and how we can also help our community to thrive amidst a changing world. Climate change is a problem.
Climate hasn't typically been an area where we've seen very many Jewish advocates or Jewish voices, but really climate issues affect us all equally. And in fact, many of the issues that are being championed by climate groups like social justice, equality, and human rights are issues that are shared with the Jewish community and align closely with our own value system. So it would make sense for us to have a seat at the table in these progressive left spaces, to be able to unite together to build alliances and to counter stereotypes and to really promote the world that we want to live in and that we want to see for our children in the future.